the odds of you, going on a job interview or going on a first date and having someone ask you, what's your blood type? Are you a universal donor? Are you one of those people who can take any old blood? That's probably not going to come up. If it does, you are on a very interesting date or a very interesting job interview. History is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Hey guys, the last couple of episodes I listened to, the Rh negative blood type conspiracy came up. I am an Rh negative blood type and had to get RHO GAM, GAM, shots for all 3 of my pregnancies so that my blood cells and immune system wouldn't attack my developing babies. This is me, they call me Ben here, interjecting with some editorialism. We're going to talk about that in a second because it's something more people need to know. Back to Cherish. She says, to kind of put to rest or add to it, thinking face emoji, the idea that we are some kind of alien descendants with superhuman abilities, I decided to share a bit of my experience with you. Cherish says, my superpowers: 1, the ability to stub my toe and hit my head simultaneously. Boom. 2, falling up the stairs. Boom. 3, tripping on air. Ba-dum. Number 4, other physics-defying accidents that usually end in injury of myself and others. Fun fact, though, says Cherish, I did a DNA test to trace my ancestry, and in my results, there was the expected English, Spanish Iberian, and Northwest European. But curiously, there was 11% unknown, with an explanation that basically said they couldn't find any matches in their system for that particular bit of DNA. Maybe that's just an ethnic group not participating much in the collection and analysis of DNA to match me to, or maybe that's what led to the Rh negative blood type and the bit of not from around here ancestry. And then, Cherish, you go on to say you're happy to volunteer for any research, and you're also currently living for the sake of your security. Cherish will just say that you live in the area of the U.S. National Radio Quiet Zone, and you said you are glad to help us out with any research into that spooky part of the United States. Thanks. Love listening to you guys. Cherish. Well, it turns out, Cherish, you are not just a rarity in this week's listener mail segment. You are a rarity in... Oh, I mean a rarity in that we have 2 anonymous sources, and then we have Cherish. You are also a rarity by nature of your blood. We have talked a little bit about blood in previous explorations, such as, for a time, there were a couple of startups here in the United States that were taking plasma, like that's like the unctuous part of blood for any blood drinkers. They were taking plasma from young people who needed money and putting it into the veins of wealthy people who had money but didn't have as much time. Yeah, jeez. Modern vampires. Very hashtag Monty Burns.
Yeah, they're like bathing in the blood of virgins or something like that.
I still think that was anti-Bathory propaganda, but, it's like I had to be their situation. So I want to start off this, and again, we'll keep this quick because this is very interesting, I think, to all of us. So do you guys know your blood types?
I do not. It came up recently. I was like, I know so much random bullcrap about like pop culture and music and movies, but I do not know my blood type, and it's embarrassing.
Don't know your blood type. No, it's funny to hear that because there are many people who are in the same situation. Many human beings are in the same situation, especially in the U.S. It doesn't come up often, right? If you are donating blood, then and you should. I'm a little biased, but I think it's a good thing to do. If you donate blood, then you are helping someone. that you will never meet, which is a very, very noble thing. And you will not be turned away based on your blood type. You may be turned away for other reasons, which we've discussed, I think, in previous either listener mail or strange news segments. In other parts of the world, blood types are treated very much the same way that Westerners would treat a zodiac sign, right? Like, are we all in the Western zodiac as it's practiced now? We're all Leos, right? Are we all roaring?
I'm wearing the hat. I bought this hat just in case people were wondering. I'm in fact a Leo. We're all a couple days apart in our birthdays, so we're probably the same exact rising sign, right? Or like the same exact iteration of Leo.
I have no idea.
Hey, you are clueless about blood type and rising
Sorry.
signs.
Well,
I am too. I
was
don't
looking
know
at my
I'm joking.
license, and I see the organ donor note here, but it seems like in an emergency situation, it would be cool to know my blood type too, right?
Isn't there? Can't you ask them to put that on your license? Isn't that a box you
Yeah,
tick?
but it's creepy. It's creepy.
I think most people don't put it on there because they don't know. Because you have to know.
They're not going to do
gonna,
a blood
look it up
test
for
there.
you. But I do believe that's right. I do believe there is a thing where you can have your blood type be on your driver's license.
You're absolutely right, and we're all in the same boat as many people listening along today. Your blood type often is not going to come up. The odds of you, going on a job interview or going on a first date and having someone ask you, what's your blood type? Are you a universal donor? Are you one of those people who can take any old blood? That's probably not going to come up. If it does, you are on a very interesting date or a very interesting job interview. This idea of blood type has been, I think, willfully misinterpreted by a lot of fans of UFO extraterrestrial speculation, and this is something that Cherish is calling out here when Cherish is saying, I am actually not an alien. My superpowers include the everyday human superpower of being kind of clumsy at the worst times.
Who's discussing these superpowers? I was trying to look it up and I couldn't really find anything other than the pregnancy transfer and the issues with people that have this blood type and having to get certain injections to make sure that the fetus is viable. But what circles are conjecturing that this blood type is somehow
right?
extra,
It's going to be
not of this world.
it's going to be the typical ancient aliens crowd, which I don't want you guys to die on this hill with me, but I've been on record in the past pointing out the racist origins of those sorts of arguments, because God knows they're not supported by fact. But the idea then, or the cognitive leap, is that because something is more rare than another trait, it must therefore be even more special than science would indicate. For people who have blue eyes in the human species, largely, if you're talking about genetic blue eyes, they largely originate from a mutation in what we would call Estonia today. And they were just soups popular, and so they spread around. But that doesn't mean there was an alien involved. There were just a couple of folks, who had a little zhuzh-up in their appearance and were able to capitalize on that. This does mean that there are some blood types that are more prevalent. When we talk about blood types, what we're really talking about is shorthand for blood group systems. And there are 43 different blood group systems recognized by the ISBT, the International Society of Blood Transfusion. If you're donating blood, and again, please do, you won't have to worry about which of those 43 types you might fall into. You can just show up, and hopefully they will know that you are helping to fight the good fight. RH, capital R, little h, negative refers to an absence of proteins in your red blood cells. Every time you bleed, every time you cut your hand at a ritual or in an accident, you are emitting not just one substance. It may look like one substance, but you're emitting kind of a smoothie of red blood cells and white blood cells. And as you point out, Cherish, this comes into play in a big way when you are a person carrying a child. When you're expecting a human child, then the child you are carrying may emit a certain amount of its blood into your circulatory system. And then if you have Rh negative blood, then that means your body will say, whoa, what's all this strange blood? We don't like RHs. We don't like those proteins around here. And it may make antibodies that can hurt or kill blood cells that have those Rh proteins. So this is past all the hooty-hoo and the woo-woo of speculation about extraterrestrial hybrids. This is something that is important to know. You can, the medication that Cherish refers to, GAM, this is a treatment that will prevent the expecting parent from making antibodies that attack those Rh positive blood cells, giving your future progeny a safer home, right? And this is creepy to some people because it is made with human blood. It contains a very small amount of Rh positive proteins. Defeating that small amount of this into your body system will prevent your immune system from making permanent standing antibodies that are always going to fight those Rh proteins. And they, most importantly, will not harm your child. This is key. This is also an opportunity for us to talk about. I feel creepy when I talk about the importance of donating blood. It is important, though. It is important. And that's why I wanted to ask you all about your blood types.